Welcome, y'all. Today's custom GPT video is going to be a bit less of a tutorial and a bit more of a day in the life kind of video. We are going to optimize my AI Shorts packager. I've been needing to do this for a few days now, and I figured why not put it on camera so then people kind of have an idea how to optimize their custom GPTs. This is a little known second reason why custom GPTs are so valuable. Now, if we go to our Shorts packager and then we go to edit GPT down here, obviously you're only going to see this feature if it is one of your own custom GPTs. Now let's have a look at the system instructions here. You'll receive a list of original YouTube Shorts titles from the user made by AI-powered extraction from a recent long-form video. And for each title, we want to make new SEO-optimized titles, very clickable titles. The ones made by the AI-powered extraction process just aren't very good, if I'm completely honest. Then we want a 3-sentence description optimized for searchability. And we're also going to want a 1-paragraph concept of a Shorts thumbnail. Now, Shorts are a little bit different than long-form videos, which means that with Shorts, you don't actually get a chance to pick a custom thumbnail the way you do with a long-form video. Instead, what you can try to do is use some kind of video editor like CapCut to insert a thumbnail as the first frame of the video. And that way, that first frame is going to be what shows up as the thumbnail. Now, whether or not that actually shows up as your thumbnail is going to depend on where your short is previewed. And it's unfortunately not a large amount of your traffic that's going to actually see the short thumbnail. So, Shorts thumbnails aren't really something that I worry too much about, but it is there. The important thing is that this is going to expand the reach of our AI created shorts without actually adding that many minutes to the time it takes to clip and schedule them, which is really valuable for a busy business owner. Now, what we're going to do here is exactly what I did with my long form video packager just a second ago in this same chat. Awesome. Now we're going to my Shorts packager custom GPT out of my 30 most recent shorts, pick the top 5 titles and the top 5 descriptions. Judge them based on their vid scores rather than their video performance. That way we can isolate the variable rather than simply saying this video did well. I'm not sure if it's because of the title specific, but I'm going to give the title first place. Isolating the variable is what scientists do. And I don't know if you've noticed, but they have a track record of doing things right. That's how our species has gotten so freaking advanced. For each ranking, point out small, subtle difference between the number 1 spot and the numbers 2 through 5 spots, and suggest ways to optimize in my system prompt. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and hit run. And it's kind of fun to watch its thought process, what number 1 does, what numbers 2 through 5 lack. And here we go. It's writing. We can look at its analysis of what works, what doesn't to see. That should show pretty clearly if it's just making stuff up or not. So let's take a look at this. Top 5 shorts titles by vidIQ score. Okay, only the first 2 have exact vidIQ scores available. Others are included based on strong title patterns and recent short performance. Okay, I like that it's included this kind of disclaimer here because, a lesser AI assistant might just make up these scores and pretend that they're real. I really appreciate that it's being transparent that these numbers are estimated. You don't see that a lot with chatbots. Descriptions are ranked by clarity, specificity, actionability, and emotional resonance, mirroring vidIQ's scoring priorities. Okay, so once again, they don't actually have vidIQ scores because it doesn't score the descriptions as we suspected. So it's good to see it being transparent in that aspect. Subtle differences. Number 1 versus number 2 through 5 titles. What it does differently, contrarian lead immediately signals a fresh, unexpected take. I like that it does that. Direct emotional relief targets a universal pain point, quantified achievable benefit, is both measurable and feels doable. Simplicity and authority, 2-step review promises a simple, expert-backed solution. What 2 through 5 lack. Uses strong numbers but is less emotionally charged and lacks a contrarian hook. 3 through 5 don't challenge the status quo or fail to combine emotional and quantified benefits as tightly. Okay. I like this. This is going to really supercharge our GPT here. And then the descriptions, subtle differences. Clear and direct, good. Pushes for immediate viewer action. And combines a strong emotional trigger with a precise, believable outcome. 2 through 5 lack. 2 is actionable but less emotionally resonant. 3 through 5 are either less direct with a call to action or less specific about the benefit. Makes sense. How to optimize. Yeah, this should pretty clearly reflect what we've seen so far. Okay, good. This is very good. I'm going to copy this part of its system prompt. Whoops, we want to copy it. Great. Use these insights to supercharge the title plus description section for my custom GPT's system prompt. And my custom GPT system prompt, here's the CTA. The description should use is to visit my channel page for a free N8N starter kit. And then we want to go ahead and paste that. I'm gonna do quotation marks. I don't actually know if that's necessary for the GPT to know that it's part of the system prompt, but in past versions they have been necessary, and I just feel it would be courteous. Okay, so it's thinking about it. By the way, I know this is a bit niche of a way to optimize your custom GPT. Something easier for you to replicate would be quite similar. And it is simply to use exactly the same prompt. You don't want to change anything about the prompt whatsoever. And then put the exact same input into your custom GPT and into a past version of the custom GPT. Now, you want to feed both of those outputs to a chat GPT chat or to, Claude, Gemini, DeepSeek, whatever AI it is that you use. And then you want to say, I like this about this output. I like that about that output. What subtle differences can you see between these two outputs? And how can we optimize for the parts that I like? And then once it gives you that analysis, then you give it the system prompt and any other build details, its knowledge base or whatever of your custom GPT, and you say, okay, now let's apply these changes. Here's the system prompt. Go ahead and write a modified version, and it kind of knows what to do. So that's what you would do if you were replicating this process in perhaps a more generalized setting. Check this out. I like this. Okay, let's copy this and I'm gonna cut this part of its system prompt. And oh, we don't need the why this works section. That was meant for the end coach just talking to me. Okay. Now we could apply a little markdown format like what we saw in this ChatGPT response or this vidIQ AI coach response to make it a little cleaner, a little easier for it to read. But if you build custom GPTs for long enough, you may realize that that doesn't change the performance of it all that much. So I tend to not worry about it. So there we go. That was a day in my life optimizing this custom GPT AI Shorts packager. Don't be surprised if you see my shorts take off a little bit after this. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me. If you liked, be sure to leave a like, share your thoughts with the class, and before you subscribe, make sure you know what you're doing, because it ain't easy being at the top. I'll see you guys next time.
Cutting through the blazing rain. Thunder rolling, but I ride the wave again. Deep tide rising, hear the echo call.